Something I love about the sport of NASCAR is when the drivers get upset, whether that be with another competitor, their teammate, even their crew chief. In this video, we're going to be looking at some of the best times a NASCAR driver has been upset. Just like when Boris Said was upset during the Nationwide Series race in Mexico City.
"17 laps to go." Let's head down to Vince Welch.
That's just bullshit. I mean, that was just total BS. Cheap shot if I've ever seen it. And I wouldn't expect it from him. So you're the one I'm apologizing to. It's going to cost him the car.
Gary Coxdale, the crew chief for Marcus Ambrose. What was your impression from Marcus about what happened with Boris Said?
I mean, he made a comment on the radio right away, to make sure that they tried to find a spotter and have some language with him. I don't know exactly what happened. You don't know. I don't know. Restart, a lot of cars, not a lot of room. We had a couple what we thought were kind of bad calls on the lineup after restarts. Maybe tempers flared on somebody's part. I don't know whose. I didn't see it. I understand race car drivers, they get upset when stuff happens. I don't blame them for being upset.
This was the night an unlikely rivalry between Kurt Busch and Jimmie Johnson was born. Kurt Busch and Jimmie Johnson would wreck each other multiple times and start a rivalry in 2011. Jimmie Johnson would go in and take Kurt Busch out on purpose, and this is something that we don't see at a 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson, as he rarely lost his cool. Even Chad Knaus was a bit disappointed in Johnson's actions.
But two old rivals were no longer playing around.
Jimmie Johnson goes for a spin, slides backwards into the outside retaining wall.
Looks like the 22 had the left front locked up there. Jimmy's why he got into you.
Would he just get loose under the 48 and get into him?
22 dumped the 48.
Kurt just dumped Jimmy?
Looked like that, but I don't know that he did it on purpose.
With that caution we had earlier, where is that guy?
Trouble in turn number 2. Jimmie Johnson is around. Kurt Busch is around.
What a chump. What a chump. Is that a 5 chump? Yeah, it is. I got your number. I got your number. How bad is it, boss? Yeah, we probably heard it this time. Take it to the garage. Take it to the garage. You want something to eat? Want a knuckle sandwich?
In the closing stages of the race, Juan Pablo Montoya was hunting down teammate Scott Pruett. With fresher tires, he was bound to make a run at the victory. Montoya would dive into turn number 1 on teammate Pruett. They would make contact, and from this moment on, it would change the course of their relationship as teammates forever.
Unless he makes a mistake, and he's got such a good car, that's what the key to this race is. Like Andy said at the beginning of the show, stay on the track, don't make any mistakes.
If I was Brad Parrott, I'd be telling him, just take your time here. You got plenty of time. Don't try to make it happen here too quick.
All right, Juan Pablo Montoya. What a run today, by the way, for the 41 car of Pruett. And there's contact. Montoya and Pruett come together. Montoya, they spin around through the grass and dirt goes Montoya. Pruett's car has yet to fire. And the caution is out.
I will tell you, I would have never believed that in a million years. Juan Montoya is just so excited and just pressed the issue a little bit getting into turn 1. My gosh, it's bad news when you take your own teammate out. And I know he didn't mean to do it. It's probably killing him right now this happened.
It looked like to me there was a little, there's enough blame to go around there. Scott could have seen him under him right there, maybe giving him just a little bit more room. That did mean for that to happen, but boy, I'll tell you what. Ooh.
And you see the look there.
Let's take a look at this. As he gets into turn 1, he darts out underneath of him. Oh, no, that's a tough one right there, guys. It really is, because he's kind of got the spot on the 41 of Scott Pruett. But when you get in that situation, things happen really, really quick. Let's watch it one more time. He's committing. Tell you what, I really think that Juan Pablo just pressed that issue just a little too much. He's had such a great car. I would have probably waited another corner. Last thing Ganassi Racing wants to see, but it looks like Montoya's in a position he wants to be. And look at the guys go off through turn 1 and bounce back on into turn 3, passing a lot of cars right there.
So, Rusty, had you been in the 42 car in the position Montoya was in going into 1, what do you do?
Jerry, it happens.
Pruett was extremely upset, and honestly, I don't blame him. I would be upset too. Montoya would go on to win the race, but forever this race will be known as when Montoya took out his teammate to win at Mexico.
Absolutely, and here is Scott Pruett, and very, very frustrated. And just, you see his voice of all people, Alan Bestwick.
With Scott Pruett. Scott, what are your thoughts?
Of all the people to take you out, your teammate. I mean, that was just no good, low, nasty, dirty driving. I mean, the Juicy Fruit car ran great all day long. We were making our calls. We were being smart. I had my family at home. It's just, I can't even put it into words. It's just so disappointing. We talk about it and talk about it and talk about it and talk about it in the meetings. He's faster than me, we'll work it out. He can go, but not take each other out. That's just bad driving.
The 2011 Richmond race saw extreme chaos between multiple drivers, but none were as crazy as when Marcus Ambrose and Brian Vickers had a little altercation on the racetrack under caution. Yeah, that's right. Vickers and Ambrose had a massive altercation with their vehicles under caution in turn number 3.
In turn number 3, hard into the wall, it's both Red Bull racing cars.
We're going to fix it. If they park us, they park us.
The conflict is not over between Brian Vickers and Marcus Ambrose. Vickers now under yellow has come up and just hammered Marcus Ambrose.
Just 83 just took us out. Don't tear it up anymore if you can, please.
Travis Guapo goes for a spin in turn number 2. He was racing Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That fucker. He just downed me. I knew he would. That fucking prick. Fucker got what he deserves. He knows it.
The famous question, would you wreck your own mom to win a race? Well, Kyle Busch wrecked his own brother to try to win $1 million. And he wrecked himself in the process. Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch would be battling hard for position entering turn number 1. Kyle would get loose and slide up into Kurt. They would both end up crashing and hitting the wall, ending their night immediately. And to say Kurt Busch was upset would be an understatement.
Kurt Busch in that 2 got such a run through the middle of 3 and 4. He's going to take second spot away from Burton. Here comes his brother Kyle to the inside.
And almost wrecked him.
I told you. There he goes. I told you.
Oh, my gosh.
Checkers are wreckers.
That boy's got a lot of talent. If only he can harness it on a weekly basis.
How'd you like to be the referee in that family? Got that nose in there. Now they're hooked together. Little wobble, and he's out of control. And boy, he just barely got the back of the 2 cars. They went into the corner.
And here is Dick Berggren.
With Kyle Busch. I'm with Kyle Busch and Kurt rather, sorry. And we've just moved out of the way so the mechanics can work on the car. How much more difficult is it when it's you and your brother than when it's you and somebody else that takes you out?
Yeah, I was waiting for the day, and we got together. I was making a clean move on the 31, and then I got a car on my inside when I'm on the bottom lane. And so I was waiting for the day when we got together. We did, and we were racing for $1 million. The tough part is I wrecked real close to the end at the Daytona 500, and there was a lot of money up for line, and a guy named Harvick won the race. A guy named Harvick's leading right now. So that was a bummer to have my little brother pull that move on me, and maybe I should have given an inch instead of taking an inch from him.
You will talk to him?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk to each other. It's just tough to have this scenario happen out on the track, but inevitably it was going to happen. So we'll see what he has to say about it, and we'll see what we can do to discuss it. But right now, I'm not eating any Kellogg's anytime soon.
Dale Jr. and Ward Burton would develop a rivalry that was born on the night of the Bristol night race in 2002. An unlikely rivalry was born when Dale Jr. took out Ward Burton entering one of the corners. Burton was so upset that he waited for Dale Jr. to come by so he could throw something at Jr.'s window net. And this made for one of the most iconic moments in Dale Jr.'s racing career.
The action's building toward the finish.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, Wally and I talked about, the fuse is lit and it's just getting closer and closer to the dynamite.
All right, is this a knuckle curve or a fastball?
And that's a fastball.
And a strike. Now, that was the pitch. Here's the catch.
He went for, Junior, I thought was going to try to catch it. He decided not to.
Look up in the mirror and.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, oh, man.
Oh. Oh, here we go. We got the folks down in the truck keeping track of things tonight.
All right. Heel pass thrown to
ambulance abuse. Elliott Sadler. All right, let's hear from Ward. Matt?
And Ward Burton was forced to go to the infield care center. Ward, what happened?
Junior just didn't take his time. I mean, we've been giving and taking out there all day. I got some really good words for him, but I can't say it on TV, but I got to just control myself right at the moment.
You sent a nice message, though, with the throw.
I wish I had something I could shot through the window.
And Ward's pretty good with those things, too. So that
Junior
probably,
should be glad he didn't have anything to shoot through the window.
Intercepted this Junior side of the story over the team radio.
I tried to get out of it. He kind of, was abrupt on. I don't know. Didn't give me much time. I mean, if he's going to cut me off, they'll not, give me a little bit of time to get out of the gas, or he's going to get spun out.
Well, I think that what he said was Ward backed off a little more faster than he thought he was going to. So
Brad Keselowski was extremely furious with Matt Kenseth during the 2014 Richmond post race. He got out of his race car and pointed his finger at Kenseth because Kenseth brake checked him after the race. Keselowski was furious.
Keselowski, he was upset. That's him walking over to Matt Kenseth, and Kenseth at the time leading, blocking.
Kurt Busch and Brad Keselowski would be banging doors down the backstretch at Martinsville. There was an accident on pit road that sent Keselowski having multiple laps of damage. He ended up dooring Kurt Busch all the way around the racetrack, and he even flipped off Kurt Busch in the process.
We just got destroyed by the 2 car coming out of the pits. We're probably ruined for the rest of the day. Got a long ways to go here. It's my favorite racetrack. So much fun. Still racing the daddy. Come to the bumper. 2 car on the bumper. Well, guess we get to get in a fight afterwards, because I'm going to go that dude's face up. Don't have a lot of nose on that thing. Guess he's mad at Kurt. I don't know.
They always say a crew chief and a driver are like an old married couple, and this is exactly what it was like for Jimmie Johnson and Chad Knaus. They were screaming at each other over the radio over what adjustments to make to their race car.
What's going on, man? I'm driving my ass off and about to crash. Why are you crashing? I'm trying to help you. Why are you almost crashing, Jimmy? Racetrack. I drive it in real hard and I slide to the wall and almost crash. Okay. Does that mean you're tight, or does that mean, what does that mean? So I don't know what to do. 4 tires. Drop the panel bar 1 round.
That,
oh boy.
I don't know if that's
Jeff Burton and Kyle Busch. Harsh words. And all in one direction.
Whoa, you don't see Jeff Burton get mad like that very often.
In the middle.
Right here, I think you'll see a little contact, and this is what cuts Burton's tire down. But you gotta also see that the 33 was underneath the Kyle's. I can't really, that's just close racing on a restart.
He said I didn't race him very nicely, so he said I ran into him, and I don't know what I could have done to have made that work without touching him. His teammate, the 33, made me 3 wide getting into 1, and I held it as tight as I could on the 33, trying to stay off the 31. So I guess all that nice respect stuff he talked about earlier in this week's out the window. But
well, Kyle made it 3 wide there on the restart, trying to make something happen. I can't blame him for that. But the least he can do is stay off of me and cut the left rear tire. And, I like racing with Kyle. I really do. I enjoy it. But when he gets over aggressive and I pay the price for it, I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm just not going to put up with it. I don't mind racing with him. I don't mind him being aggressive, but I'm not going to be the victim of his aggressiveness. I'm just not going to put up with it.